Okay, hi, so... so I'm here interviewing JayGlams.
Hi guys, it's Miss Glams from Wilmington. Do I need to say where I'm from?
I was gonna say, like, introduce yourself, like, name, what you do for a living, and yeah, just like introduce yourself, give them like a brief introduction.
Well guys, so my stage name is JayGlams, but I go by Jonathan. I am from Los Angeles, but I live in the South Bay area, so southern part. I am actually a full-time entertainer and a nightlife muse, so I do a lot of nightlife events, performances, and hosting. So, and I do some influential work occasionally when the opportunity presents itself.
So this interview is going to be kind of real. This is about like the queer community, and I just wanted to interview JayGlams about that. We've known each other for a long time. So yeah, I'm gonna kick it off right now. How old are you, first of all?
Oh my gosh, I'm vintage. I'm cracking. My hip's broken. I'm 26.
Nah, we're the same age. But what's it called? So we grew up like around the same time, like 2010. We were like middle school, high school, same time.
Fun fact: we actually did Students Run LA together. So we walked like we ran marathons, half marathons, like 3Ks, 5Ks, with charity events and stuff. So we've been knowing each other.
They can't keep up with us.
We've been knowing each other for quite a while.
Yeah. So how long have you identified with this community?
Since the moment I was able to think.
Yeah.
Since the moment I was able to think, and with that being said, I never questioned it.
Do you feel like this community you're a part of, like, how's it changed, like, over time?
Well, where we grew up, it's very different.
Yeah.
I mean, Wilmington, Carson, South Bay area.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more closed off because we do have like more people who are just like first generation or like immigrants who came down. So we are the first generation. So their mindset is very religious and stuff like that.
Yeah,
With that being said, it translates to like other like their kids and stuff. But I mean, this goes to show how much things have changed because where we live now, there's a lot of queer people now, even in Wilmington and Carson and Torrance, Harbor City. Like, people are more open to that now because I think it's been obviously more exploited. Not exploited, that's not a good word, but it's been more accepting nowadays, you know. But it's changed a lot because I remember when just like people would always tell me to tone it down because a lot of people weren't used to it, or you know, because I'm too different and I need to make sure that everyone's comfortable around me. But nowadays it's like people could be themselves and you can wear whatever you want. Look however the way you want to look, and that was such a big issue back then, and now it's like everyone's just themselves.
Yeah, so what part of the city, like you said you grew up in Wilmington, right? So like what part of Wilmington? Like do you feel like the whole city is kind of like homophobic, or was it homophobic at a certain point?
For me, yeah. I think that I was, and I say this with great respect, I think I was very like pioneer when it came down to someone being queer where we're from. Because I think that there's so many people who we both know who just like were super negligent of themselves and they wouldn't like accept themselves as a queer person and stuff, and you know how that goes. It's like they were always the one like harassing other people who actually were gay, and they were the ones always making remarks, you know? And so back then it was homophobic, but like I said, I never really like questioned myself, I never really doubted myself. I am who I am, and I've always been this way, and if I had to defend myself, I did.
So your community, like where you grew up, there weren't that many role models then, huh? No, not really, huh?
I think, no, there wasn't. You know, there was no role models, but people who actually helped me and changed my life when I was growing up were lesbians, like studs. Full-on little dykes, because they were, and I say it with respect, but studs were the only gay that was accepted back then, especially in LA. I think studs were like, they were masculine, that the guys felt safe being with studs, and me as a gay person, you know, a stud to me was the closest I would get to hanging out with a bro.
And over like the course, like in Wilmington, you bounce around a lot. Like Jonathan, like is worldwide, pretty much.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So I guess like some of these are going to be focused on Wilmington for the most part, because I guess that's like where we grew up in. Are there any like gay spaces in Wilmington? Like now, anything new going on in Wilmington?
It's been a while since I've been there. I haven't been in Wilmington for quite some time.
Yeah.
I know that there's role models from the city who create spaces and stuff. I think the closest thing that we have to queer space in Wilmington is maybe San Pedro Pride. That's the only thing that I know as far as events that happen for the queer community. But as of right now, I don't think there's anything in Wilmington that goes on that's queer related or something about that.
In terms of like the South Bay, where do you think you feel the most accepted at?
Excuse me. I don't think like, I don't think anywhere.
Really?
I think it's just it's pockets. It's pockets of people that you meet, pockets of people that like will have an open mind. There are safe spaces that allow queer people to go and you feel safe there. You meet people from other places, but it's just pockets of people that you meet. There's not a specific place where you could go any time of the day where you feel like you could be. I mean, you can be yourself anywhere you go. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's just a matter of luck whether you get discriminated on or people love you. It's just a pattern.
Yeah, and you got a really like loud personality. Like I mean, like you're very vibrant. Wherever you go, and I think maybe some people are so tolerating that, right?
Yes and no. I think for myself, I think I have to use my words to get people to understand me. I have to speak with them, talk to them, reason with them, but then give them my perspective on things. And just like, just for instance, like how I am as a person, I think and I hope that I come up very vibrant, and I hope that I come out very, like, just with love, that's how I come with things very lightly. So with that being said, I think sometimes people already come into it with a perspective on me, and because I have long hair, I'm tall, I dress feminine, I have feminine features, so for the most part, a lot of people already have a thought of who I am. And then they say stuff and say that, and sometimes you just gotta talk to them. If it's worth it, you just kind of have to open their eyes a little bit, because a lot of people have a very narrow mind. And so they need a little bit of perspective. So I'm able to communicate with words. I'm able to, just be very nice to them, I guess. And then they come around. If they don't come around, then that means just a little bit ignorant. There's nothing you could really do about that, because I don't lead with my sexuality. I don't lead with my gender. I lead with humanity. I come across with people and I try to just, you're you on me. Let's look outside of the outside. Let's just see how we are as people. That's it.
So what about outside of Wilmington though? Because you've been bouncing around the United States for a little bit. Queer spaces, have we gained any over up to now? There's a lot more going on.
I think in the United States there's a lot of accepting to do. I've been all over the Midwest. I've been in the South. I've been East Coast. It's very, very, very what's the word? Just closed off, conservative in those places. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, because even just walking, for instance, a great example is walking to the airport when I did a show in Arkansas. I have long hair. I look the way I look without this. I still look very feminine. So I've had a group of Proud Boys, which is 1 second while this passes by. Are you able to crop? Are you able to crop?
Yeah. We can crop. Just give it a moment.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry.
But so I've talked with other queer people, and some people that, for example, Long Beach, right? Like that's kind of like a safe pocket for a lot of queer people, And I think like as a queer person, right? Like I think all you guys have right now is really pockets, right?
Yeah.
It's not like open as much as you guys would like it to be.
Yeah.
So wherever you go, you feel like they're only like kind of islands where you could really be at.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
Because, like I said, even in the Midwest or the South, like in the South it's a little bit more open, believe it or not. Or, I mean, I guess certain like states in the South, right? But for the most part, like if you're not of a certain ethnic group, realistically, then you're definitely looked at like an outsider for sure. So, going back to what I was saying, as far as going like example Arkansas, like I was followed by a group of Proud Boys, and it's a real thing. There's still people like that who are like legitimately racist and like hateful of queer people, let alone just me being a Latino, you know what I mean? So it's like we're targeted. So you always have to be safe, and I think America has a lot of progress, especially in those states.
So you feel like we still have more spaces to gain then?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a matter of our generation if we take initiative to just look outside of just the public. I think if we just kind of like take things as it is, say hey, what's up, treat each other just human, then that's the beginning, that's the first step of actually making progress. I think everything just depends on individuality.
Any spaces like physical, cultural, economic, do you feel like we've lost? Do you think there's any places that you feel like are no longer safe for queer people that maybe were at one point?
Here where we're at, I think we have already. I think there's been more people coming in here from different like parts of the world who are narrow-minded, who are trying to come into our spaces. But I think our spaces hold it down, honestly, and they don't tolerate a bunch of BS. So very fortunate for that.
Yeah, well, you already answered my topic of discrimination. What about acceptance? Like, do you feel like I used to live in places that like don't really look at you that well. They kind of glare at you a little bit. But still, like, do you think people hate as strongly as they did like 10 years ago, 20 years ago?
Absolutely.
Still?
Absolutely. I think it's a generational thing. I think it's what you teach your kids. It's what you teach, your family. And then think about it. Like the discrimination wasn't that long ago. I think at this point we have grandparents that teach their kids that teach their grandkids that. And like I said, in these little pockets, in these little like middle like states and all that, I think it's engraved. Good for them if they leave their state and become somewhere more progressive, more open, and good for them because that's a change. Even if they still have that little mindset of conservativeness, there's still going to be a little shift in there because you're here now. You have nothing to do but accept what it is.
So have you performed here before?
First time.
And is this? I don't know much about this place myself. Is this like a historic like queer like bar area?
I know as much as you.
As much as me. But like this drag, this drag like culture that we have like in the queer community. How do you think we've been maintaining it? How do you think like the drag queens, like the queer community, how have they been maintaining this, keeping it from like dying? How have you guys been keeping it alive?
Because of RuPaul's Drag Race, that's been blowing up like crazy. So I think thankfully for that show, RuPaul's Drag Race, it's been bringing more and more awareness in drag communities and stuff like that. But I personally didn't come up on RuPaul's Drag Race. I started doing this when we were running like outside of doing the marathons and stuff like that. When I have my free time, I'll just get up in makeup and just use a fake ID and go out and perform. Because I had a cousin who was a performer back then but stopped performing because of the whole mainstream. So it changed. It definitely has changed. But with that being said, it's been more progressive. There's been more drag queens. There's been more opportunities. There's been more business opportunities for drag performers, and then on top of that, like there's even like ballroom culture that kind of was under the radar, but because of drag, and then there was drag performers on RuPaul's Drag Race that were part of the ball scene that brought that. It's been very progressive to say the least.
And how do you think this like whole drag culture has like adapted? How do you think it's had to like change to stay relevant even now? Like, do you think, I know some queer people like want to keep those spaces for a specific group of queer people, right? But do you feel like accepting straight people and people like even lesbians too, like that's been kind of important to like keeping this relevant and everything?
Elaborate it for me.
Just like has it had to adapt like to accepting other people, like other communities, like straight people and stuff like that? Has that helped preserve it for sure?
I think it's just a matter of like people respecting each other. Straight people come to our venues all the time. They love it. They have the most fun there. I've met so many people who say I would rather be at a gay club than a straight club because people are just more loving, outgoing, fun, friendly. So I think they're lucky to be in our spaces, to be completely honest with you.
Is there ever a pressure to keep those spaces queer? Maybe there's too many straight people. Do you feel like some queer people worry about that? Like, oh, there's too many straight people here.
I don't know. If you're at a gay club, I mean, it depends. It just really depends. I definitely don't think that like it's a worry. I think we always accept everyone wherever you are. You know what I mean? As long as you're being respectful and you're not like causing chaos or causing disruption in our spaces, you're okay.
How do you think your relationship, like as a queer person and the community, how has that like kind of how has that like evolved with like other ethnic communities? Like because I know queer people, right? Like it's more than just like it's different cultures in the queer community.
We have like lesbians, gays, trans. We have bullshit. Like just everyone, like the groups and stuff like that. Different identities.
But there's even like different like cultures, right? Like Nigerian people, Mexican people, Brazilian. Like there's so many things there. Like how do you think like queerness has like? How do you think that's been playing with like different cultures, getting involved in queerness? Do you still feel like? Do you think like some cultures are harder in accepting like queerness?
Yeah. It really depends where you come from. I think, and I don't mean to like bash on it, but I think just what you're taught, and one of the main things that I always see, it's always like, well, this is going against our religion, like if you're gay, that's against what we believe in. If you're this, we're gonna disown you. If you're that, like abandon or whatever. Like I think it depends where you come from. Like it's the perspective on it. It's different. It varies from cultures, but it's the same grief, the same hurt, the same like love we're missing. So.
And do you feel like when people? I feel like it's most like the first generation people that might have an issue with like queerness, right? Do you think like when people come here, like just the exposure alone is like good at like kind of making those relationships better?
With
like people coming like to like maybe more queer spaces like LA or like Long Beach or San Francisco. Do you think? Because I've heard people say that like, oh, like they don't feel comfortable around a queer person until like they're in proximity with them, like
until they meet one.
Until they meet one,
I'm telling you, it's what you're taught.
Yeah.
It's what you're scared of. You're not used to it. You don't see it. You're scared of something you don't know until you get to that perspective. Like until you get to that point where you meet someone who is queer. Trust me, I met so many people who changed their perspective on meeting a queer person because they met me. That's my example. They're like, you're actually really cool. It's just a matter of you taking the time, the opportunity to get to know someone and look, like I said earlier, it's just look deeper than just who they are, what they like, their orientation.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of close this off with like, you've been like around like different countries and everything. How do you? You can fix it. So like compared, you've been to Brazil, you've been to Mexico, Spain.
Spain.
So like, how would you say those communities are different from here?
To be completely honest with you guys, like poorer countries are so much more accepting of queer people. There's so much more life, vibrancy. There's so much more love to give around. There's festivals, there's events, there's like queer artists who are actually queer and have a successful career, because it's just a matter of like they don't care who you are on the, like, you know, what you like and all that stuff. It's just that you're a good person and you're successful, you work hard, you know, you're accepted. Versus other countries who are a little bit more established, they like to maintain more of a dignity, I guess. So they try not to, correct me if I'm wrong, but they try not to give a bad image for themselves. With that being said, it's like they want, like they're just, it's, I don't know. I get what you mean. I get very deep when it comes down to it, and this is what it is, and I noticed it in the pattern of people, and it's just, it's a matter of dignity. You know what I mean? It's a status thing. You know, they can't show anything that's like a weakness, or they can't show anything that causes vulnerability. Versus in like other like countries like Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, like people are just like, hey, come on through, like, you know, you're vibing out to the same music, you're part of the group, you know. So.
And of the places you visited, where did you have like the funnest time?
Brazil.
I knew he was gonna say.
I love Brazil. love. I learned how to speak Portuguese because of Brazil. Like, I love Brazil.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of that earlier with the ground.
Gagaruni. Let me tell you something. In Brazil, if you look at somebody more than 3 seconds, you make out. Yeah, that's part of their culture. That's part of their culture. It's like it's intense. So.
Yeah. They really like to have fun.
They do.
Yeah.
Like carnival, pride, just festival.
Yeah. And we just saw like JayGlams' show right now. He put on quite a show.
Okay, you need to learn too.
I don't know about that. I need dance lessons.
Who's he?
But you did great. Yeah. How do you feel about like who won? Like, how do you feel?
It's whatever. I came to have a good time.
Yeah.
I came to like, my friends wanted to see me, and I said, all right. She invited me to do the show. Like, please do the show. Like, I did it for charity.
Yeah. Great.
I don't live here. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah. But hey, like second place though is not bad too, and you really got to work hard for that. So I wanted to like congratulate you, and it was amazing.
The gag is we've been knowing each other since when I was bald.
Yeah.
I was bald, quinceañera, running. Yeah. We go way back. Now look at me.
Yeah, and it shows too, like how things change around us, and it really lets us change for ourselves.
Yeah.
So
when I think you have more liberty and freedom to do your thing once you get older. Obviously, when we're younger, family, you have to like maintain things at a certain level.
Yeah.
But it was never always this way.
Yeah.
I was never always like this. So it was sticky shorts, Pro 5s, bald, Nike Cortez, and I was just roaming like that. Skating in the hood. I would never do it like this.
Yeah, you should.
But back then I did.
Yeah.
I used to do it. And who would have thought I would have done this?
Well, congratulations, Jonathan.
Well, thank you, Tony.
Thank you for the show.
That's my friend.
Y'all heard it from here first.